Listening, and I'm back with another video. It's really getting hot right now. The audio we are about to listen is a testimony from a woman, what she passed in the hands of Fulani Herdsmen. So I'm not about to say much about that, but to let the woman deliver the message. So without further ado, let's hear her.
On Friday, another bill was passed that government officials were now to regulate the preachers in Kaduna State. It's so unbelievable sometimes. If I wasn't living it, I won't believe it. So a government official is supposed to tell a preacher how to preach and what to say. And the license is to be renewed every year. That tells you that if you don't do what the government says, in a year, you lose your license. So eventually, even in churches, it is only what the government allows you to say that you're allowed to say to the congregation. So at the end of the day, we're just going to be extinct, really. And the government takes over and does whatever they want to do. It's a plan that if it's not curtailed right now, it's going to be terrible for the world at large, because there's a genocide going on. Every morning we wake up to different stories. If I start to say stories here, I won't keep quiet. There's so much to say. I'm sorry my stories are all over the place. It's because there's so much for me to say. I'm not even going to start on what we went through when our parents were locked up. We had to go visit our parents in prison every day for over 100 days. And knowing that they didn't do anything wrong. And remember, these elders are in prison while their communities are continuously attacked. And we, as the citizens of the indigents of Adara, where do we go to? Our elders are locked up. People who are speaking for us are being locked up in prison. Then you go to the hospital, people without limbs, children crying, so many orphans right now. No mother, no father, 2-month-olds. We don't even know what to do with them. And so, in conclusion, I want to reiterate again that we need help from the US government. Hold the Nigerian government accountable. Ask them what they're doing with the money. Where are they getting money to pay these herdsmen? If you're going to pay herdsmen to stop killing, why don't you just arrest them and put them in prison? So we need them to be held accountable. We need them to allow us freedom of speech. We are not we're supposed to be in a democratic government, and we're not allowed to tell the world or even say at all what is happening to us. It's been a helpless, hopeless situation, and God, through all of you, has given us hope. I don't know how I'm not crying right now. I was crying when I was sitting there because I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm in a place where someone will hear my story at all. It's been as if we've been in a dark hole with no light. But in all of this, God is God. I want to leave, but let me give a testimony. The woman I mentioned that who lost her kids was sleeping at home when the Fulani men came. She said there were about 400 of them, and they all wore black. So in the morning when they went out, there was just this dark cloud as if it was going to rain. And then they looked up and saw they were surrounded by the Fulani herdsmen with AK-47s. So they ran into her room, and she had 4 kids and was pregnant, 9 months pregnant. And they told the kids in Adara to lie down on the floor. And the kids lay down. There were 4 of them. And then one in the middle sat up crying when he saw his 2 other siblings their heads being cut off. And she was there just looking at them crying. She said she didn't know what to do. But when they got to the 4th child to slaughter, the Fulani men couldn't find the child. And she said God was telling her in the midst of that chaos that he's alive and he's there. They searched everywhere, but they couldn't find the 4th child. And he was sitting right there in front of her. And she was trying to reach out and hold her kid, but she couldn't even. And then when they went out and she ran to her kid to hug him, they came back inside, and then they cut off her left hand and tried to sever her head, and then hit her tummy. She started bleeding and passed out. So it was a reverend father that came and rescued her. And by the time she woke up, her 9-month-old baby had died. They had operated on her and removed the child. And her only surviving child is the child that God protected from the Fulani herdsmen. So I want to tell you that we believe in God. We know that God is the reason why we're even here to tell our stories. what we've been through, it's impossible to even stand and talk because it's surreal when you're living in situations like that. So I want to thank everyone here for your time, for listening to us, and continue to beg that something is being done about this. Thank you.